Yeah. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Traded in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and crypto. Need some more liquidity. Flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. EYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the spec. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy on the channel. We cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What's up, guys? An amazing show for you guys today. We're live from the OnChain hour, and today's show is going to be absolutely amazing, guys, because Bitcoin is in August. It's relaxed season, right? It's all right. It's all right, but we need to be prepared for what's about to happen. And what's about to happen is going to be one of the strongest momentum pushes that we've ever seen in crypto. And when I say that, I'm not even trying to say, you know, that we're going to have this momentum that's driven by hype. No, this is a real thing that we're going to be experiencing for a long time. This is crypto going mainstream. This is crypto becoming everything that we thought it was going to be, everything that we know eventually that it would be. And I'm really excited for that. I'm excited to enter the next generation for crypto. No longer this bullshit, you know, degen area, but actually push into the financial institutions and stuff like that. I still want to play. I still want to do some degen stuff, right? But I think we do have some time with that. But eventually down the line, it's going to get to the point where there's another thing, right? But I think for at least for the next 4, 5, 10 years, we're really going to be in an area of being early. For a little while, we were probably too early. So there is a thing about being too early. You can get wrecked being too early. But if you stay in your convictions, if you keep learning, you keep pushing, that education and that pride and that push that you've experienced during being too early pushes you into being the potential millionaires and billionaires of the future, right? Really excited for where crypto is going and really excited for today's show. So without further ado, I'm bringing my partner here as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up,
man? How you feeling today, brother?
I feel good. We are in August. You know, we had our monthly close this past week, right? And then our weekly candle yesterday. And so I feel good. I'm glad that we're in August. Like I said, it might take that first week to get comfortable and readjusted. But look, there's some news that's coming in. You know, there's some platforms, some data and analytics platforms saying that, you know, we could be forward looking here for possibly risk on, right? We got Polymarket saying 80, it's actually 81%. I just checked the platform recently, chance that September we get a rate cut. That's huge, right? That's something that we've been waiting on for so long. And we just, even the week before last, we thought we weren't going to get the September one, but that all changed when the job market, numbers came in and got revised and updated, right? So I'm excited about that. We're going to get into that. We're also going to hit on, Bitcoin having a chance to flip Apple, right? Getting to 155,000 per Bitcoin will actually flip Apple. I know some people might say, well, we're not that close. We are pretty close to 155,000 if you think about it, and how violently Bitcoin does move up once it does move up for the next leg possibly. And then also we'll talk a little bit about VanEck and what they say about Bitcoin, because they're TradFi to the core, but they've started to integrate this mindset of, hey, crypto, Bitcoin, it's the future. And they're saying that Bitcoin is going to reach half of the value of gold probably sooner than later. So exciting. We're obviously going to talk about a lot of other stuff. We're going to go over some Coinbase stuff as well, but I'm excited, man. If you're ready to jump into it, we can just jump straight into that poly market.
So real quick though, this week's gonna be a little different. I am on vacation right now, so I don't have my screens. I don't have any of my stuff. I probably sound different. You probably hear some damn seagulls in my background because they don't shut up. But so I'm gonna let Yagobi kind of run today's show and probably run the whole week. And I'm gonna be commenting. I'm gonna be doing his part. He's gonna be doing my part. So I hope you guys. It's probably an awesome change for the viewers. Honestly, kind of switch it up a little bit.
Absolutely. We're just going to mix it up a little bit. It's going to be the same pretty much fill of the show though, guys. But help us out. Before we get started, smash that like for us on the YouTube side, sub, all that great stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later as well. X, share and all that great stuff as well. Help us out, guys, because we know you guys are awesome to help us out. But let's get into some of what the main topic of the show is, and that's 80% chance of a rate cut in September. Like I mentioned, 155K Bitcoin flips Apple, and Bitcoin takes that market cap spot there. VanEck talks about Bitcoin being worth half of gold. And I don't know if the audience really realizes how much that means in that last part of the topic there. I mean, gold's market cap is a lot of trillions. So we're talking about, probably like 13 trillion or 10 trillion or something like that, be the half of it, maybe 7. I got to look into that a little bit more.
No, so gold is about 22 trillion.
Okay,
so Bitcoin will have to get to 11. Yeah.
Which would be huge numbers for Bitcoin, right? But let's get into it first. 80% chance. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. 81% chance. Let me actually share my screen here on Polymarket. Something that if you were to ask me if my partner Shizzy would think that this would happen a week and a half ago, I would say no. Shizzy was completely in the camp thinking that we weren't going to get it just because of the sentiment of, the Fed meeting, right? And how he was talking. But this flipped after the jobs report. So, do you think we go into this risk on environment, and because markets are forward thinking, does it happen sooner than later? What do you think?
Yeah, so I think markets are going to be gearing up for this, honestly. So about 4 weeks ago, if you guys remember, I came on the show and I was pissed. I was sincere. I was really pissed off because I knew in my heart that the job numbers was fudded, right? That it was completely fake, right? Because we can't have, almost a negative in the private sector and then coming out and have 4x the public sector. Something was wrong. Something was misled or something, right? And then going into Jerome Powell's meeting, he used those data points for his data, and that completely messed it up, right? And then the next day we find out that we get a revision and for those numbers, saying those numbers were wrong. It was like, what the hell is going on here? I do feel good that I was right. I'm not gonna lie about that. I do love being right, but in the sense of that, it was so misleading that it misled where we are. The jobs market is not strong. The jobs market is very weak. And then it got people on Friday thinking the R word, recession. And if people even start saying the word recession, that's really bad. And on top of that, if we get into a recession mindset, that's bad because markets are forward looking. So we need to come out, and the next couple of weeks, the jobs numbers got to be strong. But I do think that does bring this number down from 80 to 70 going in. And I do think that we do get a cut 0.25 in September and October now. So you are right about that. My idea of what this rate cut cycle starting a little earlier than I predicted last week, then I think that's really good. And you got to remember though too, like I honestly wouldn't mind kind of finishing out this year with maybe one rate cut and then starting next year. I mean, think of that, dude. Think of starting in January with, potential 6 to 7 rate cuts on the table, markets forward looking. I mean, damn, dude, we could have the greatest year of all time, 2026.
Yeah, we could. They talked about 6 possible rate cuts next year. And like you said, if we just get the one, you have to remember markets are forward looking. And I think that's probably why some of these, what I noticed this morning is actually some of the alts are feeling a little lively. You know what I mean? I've noticed that a little bit. It's not like they're aggressively pushing up, but they're definitely not bleeding anymore. So maybe that's why is because people are saying, hey, 81% of a rate cut, we got to get a little risk on here. But you mentioned something about the jobs report. So you're expecting, because we just had such bad revision numbers, that we're going to have a jump up next month, right? Is that what you're saying?
So I've been following it pretty closely. I listen to the stock show and they cover it pretty well too. And normally what happens when you have a bad report, the following week is good, right? Because they're week to week. The jobs numbers are week to week. And when that happens, you do get misleading numbers because maybe something got pushed back, right? Like, so if the U.S. is expecting 130,000 new jobs and we got 70,000, there might have been a company that kind of pushed hiring back for whatever reason. You just don't know what is happening in the public sector, or because we don't get the private sector data until, I want to say, for 2 weeks. So depending on that number, that's month to month, but the public sector is week to week.
Okay, so let's say that the jobs numbers comes in better, right? Because it was so poor this past couple weeks, right? Do you think Powell uses that as leverage and an excuse to say, okay, well, looks like we're bouncing back here. No need for a rate cut in September?
Yeah, so CPI is going to be the leading indicator to that. So we get 2 CPI reports, 2 PPI reports, and 1 PCE. So I think he's really going to dig on that, because what the Fed Chairman Barr said over the last week, he said that he thinks that inflation, for tariff inflation, is a one-time thing. It's not multiple months thing. It's not a growing thing. It's nothing for them to be worried about going forward. It's a one-time thing and then it's over. So if he's right about that, and let's just say this CPI is a little high, but then the September ones comes back in line, then I think Powell has no choice to cut rates, because his only thing right now is saying inflation. The inflation is up because of tariffs. But if it's a one-time thing, like Fed Chairman Barr said, then we have nothing to worry about. It's time to cut rates.
Yeah, no. So I agree with that. CPI can definitely pop up here. And I think that if Powell does try to use the jobs report as an excuse, it's going to be just so glaringly obvious, right, that he's doing that. So, all right, cool. Well, in my opinion, this is bullish. I think that this can really bring some energy to the alts market, which definitely needs to be there, right? We need to see some forward-looking, a little bit more risk on than what we have seen. That helps Ethereum, but of course, we want to see it help some of these other, majors, mid caps, and even micros, and see if we can get down to that level. But a lot of new projects and stuff that are launching, so it definitely would help out. All right, let's talk about this BTC to 155,000 in flipping Apple. More than that, I feel like the targets to Bitcoin by the end of the year has changed a little bit, right? I think on the conservative side, it used to be, in my opinion, high 100,000s to low 200,000s, but now we're hearing a lot of 160, 170, 150. Now this fact that 155 flips Apple. First, let's talk about the projections here. Do you think those are too low for the end of the year? And 2, what happens when Bitcoin flips Apple? Is that just not a nothing burger, or do you think that's a big deal? Because it's a stock, and we're talking about an asset that we think is going to be just always up only when you zoom out.
Yeah, I mean, and you can really take a look at a lot of these assets, right? Like Apple. Apple's a company that is slowing down tremendously, right? People, I have no interest in getting a new phone. I have, the Apple 15. As long as it still works, there's no reason to. So Apple's slowing down. There is no slow growth on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to eat the world. Bitcoin is going to be 4 times the size of gold in the next, within the next 100 years, right? I think Bitcoin is going to be the leading asset in the world, and it's going to just eat every single asset that's in front of it until there's nothing left to eat, and then it's just going to eat the dollar.
Yeah, eating the dollar is an interesting concept, because everybody knows when you zoom out, the dollar is trending to zero, even though it's so small increments, right? I don't think we'll see the dollar at zero in our lifetime, but that's the idea. And it's kind of the opposite, except for more fast of Bitcoin continually going up, right? So, but yeah, I think it's going to be more of like a nothing burger, because we already know that it's going to flip Apple. I think once it starts to challenge gold, that's whenever we start to say, oh crap, like this has really changed like completely how we view the strongest asset in the world, really, right? So I think that's where we kind of change things. And that leads into VanEck saying that Bitcoin will be worth half of gold in the future. That's an easy statement to say, though, because half of gold in the future, it did seem like they were leaning more towards in the more near future. But like, how long do you think it takes for it to reach half of gold's value by market cap? Because gold still, when you zoom out, it might be slower, more of a slower rate going up, but it's still going up. Bitcoins can speed that past it. But like, how long do you think it would take for Bitcoin to reach half of the market cap of gold?
So that's kind of why my prediction is 700K. So at $700,000, Bitcoin becomes a $10 trillion asset, right? So I think Bitcoin hits $10 trillion by the end of this cycle, by the potentially May of next year. And then I do think it flips gold in I want to say by 2030. I think Bitcoin can get up to $6 million a coin by the year 2030, which puts Bitcoin at a $40 trillion asset. And so I think by the end of this next, this 30, what's that, century, 10 years, century?
No, 100 years.
So with 10 years?
Decade.
By the end of this decade, I think Bitcoin flips gold.
Woo, man. By the end of this decade. So you're talking about 2035. I mean, that's the thing.
No, 2030, technically. 2030.
Well, okay. I see what you're saying. By the end of this current decade that we're in.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, 5 years then. Oh my God. So that's even more of a, I don't know if it could do that. But the thing is that hyper Bitcoinization is something that we haven't really seen yet. And if that happens, and it's just like nation states are all involved at this point, and it's standard now for nation states to have some sort of Bitcoin reserve, then I think that's when Bitcoin, hyper Bitcoinization kicks in, and we could definitely see something crazy. I still don't know about 5 years, but we'll see.
It's only a 10x from by next May's all-time high. So just saying.
True. All right, cool. Let's get into some other news here. Bitcoin demand remains strong per CryptoQuant. CryptoQuant is the leading on-chain analysis website, and they just really good at data analysis here. And it says accumulation is rising, OTC supply is falling. I think that's the biggest part of this headline here. And long-term holders are still buying. So that last part too is a little bit I feel like the opposite of what we were hearing a month and a half ago with, saying that a lot of these long-term whales of Bitcoin were selling into these new buyers, but it looks like they, maybe some of them aren't selling as much. So what do you think about this? Does this kind of spark this Bitcoin hyper Bitcoinization theory that we just talked about?
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's going to do what Bitcoin does best, right? Bitcoin has always been the asset that every 4 years it has a run up that nobody can believe, right? No one can predict what it's going to happen, right? But if you zoom out on a 4-year span, it happens every 4 years. So why wouldn't it happen again? And you might say, all right, it's already happening. But I think from where I think last cycle was heavily manipulated down to where it didn't get that compression point up, and this cycle there's nothing holding it down. It's gonna go and get the gains that it should have got last cycle, and I think it does. I think potentially easily 7x's from here.
Yeah, and so you can see here too, like you can see with the green right here is the positive apparent demand. This is a chart by CryptoQuant. And it, we saw some of the negative apparent demand in basically like the first couple months of this year, and it did get kind of beaten down a little bit here. Not just Bitcoin, the alts got really beaten down, but then once it started to creep back up here, we saw that starting in April. So we all witnessed that with a little bit of dip in between, and Ethereum kind of took over a little bit here. But now this top here of where we're basically at right now is a little bit, it's kind of like a lower high. Does that worry you at all, or do you feel like it's just a little bit of a not as aggressive demand, leading into an aggressive demand to finish off the year. So we finished higher at the end of the year. What's your projection if you had to make one?
I mean, go back to, what was that, 2024? Look what happened after that big correction, right? It just kind of it did its thing. It just went upward momentum. But you are right. It's it's a little sideways, but that just tells me how early we are. Right, we're so early in the cycle. The cycle might not haven't even started yet. Maybe we just got to the point where we should have been last cycle, and this is just catch up.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, and that's my thesis, is that like we're gonna go through like a little bit of a choppiness, maybe a little bit choppy to a little bit of an uptrend too, because you have to remember, I think that pullback to what we just saw, what was it, like 112? It was healthy, because now it gives Bitcoin like an excuse to range between like 112, 113 to 120 and back and forth, while Ethereum catches up and starts to hit some higher levels, and then Bitcoin can kind of blast off starting maybe in October. We don't know what that's going to look like, but I think the setup looks really, really good, even though we did see some drawdown last week.
And think about this too. It's like the OTC Bitcoin is only there for like mainly for the ETFs. What happens when countries and companies, I'm talking about Apple and stuff, get involved? There's not going to be any OTC Bitcoin left. All the Bitcoin in the future, especially in the next 2 years, is all going to be bought up from the markets. There is not going to be no OTC unless it's kind of maybe some big whale decides to sell. But what happens if no one wants to sell? Like, what happens? Like,
yeah, I mean, well, obviously the OTC supply is being bought up, right? Because the supply is falling. So do you think we've seen any type of squeeze with that yet in terms of OTC supply? So you think that this is like kind of like the first signs of like that falling, and we could go into the situation to where they're having to just buy it like regular people?
Yeah, 100%. Or they're going to get to a point where they got to search for a seller, right? It's going to be, they're going to have to say, hey, this person wants to buy 80,000. You want to sell 80,000? And what happens if everyone just says no? Right. So that's going to be OTC in the future. It's buyer. It's basically going to be limit orders, right? You're going to see limit orders be the OTC desk of the future, because there is no Bitcoin left for people to have, and that no one's going to be willing to dump it just straight into the markets.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we do see something like that, and there is this nation state FOMO as well, that's when I think that we can really see this thing just go on like another level. Something that there's still people that kind of laugh at like Bitcoin at 500K or Bitcoin at 700K at $1 million, right? But those people were probably the same people that were laughing at Bitcoin at 100K when Tom Lee was saying it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, when will they become believers? And I think one by one they do, but like there's still that group that says, I don't know, Bitcoin's still a Ponzi and all these things, but that eventually it's gonna be so late for them and they're gonna be one of the poors.
100%. My man Patty Poo says Shizzy permable, dude. I just been like reading and like just messing around and stuff, dude. I'm so bullish on Bitcoin right now. I really think that we're just in the very early stages of this bull run.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm just for me, I do think that you do get really bullish in it, and there's some fundamental stuff of why you do, but you're bullish by nature. I feel like a lot, right? For me, I'm a little bit too conservative by nature, and because of that, like I'll come off as maybe even bearish. Some people might say, but I'm not bearish. I'm just very careful in terms of, I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but like I will be one of those people to where I have to say, Bitcoin keeps proving me wrong. You know what I mean? And saying that, like, I don't think it gets to 300K by end of the year. If it proves me wrong, then I could be like, okay, there's another time, right? It has. And then next year, people are saying possible 500K. See, I can't think of that scenario just yet. I think of 500K maybe like in 3 years, but we'll see. Yeah. Hopefully I get proven wrong.
You will next May.
I don't know. Not by you, sir, but maybe by Bitcoin. I'll take that L. All right. All right, let's get into some other news here that might not sound as bullish as what we've been talking about so far, but we got 462 people in here. So welcome to all the new people. If it's your first time to the show, welcome to OnChain Revolution. Welcome to the family. Hit that like for us, share the link, all that good stuff for us. But let's get into some headline here that's not necessarily too bullish sounding at first. Let's see what you think here. So Coin, the TradFi ticker for Coinbase, fell over 19% last week. Its worst performance since September 2024. The sell-off has triggered a demand for put options. So when I first read this, I was like, oh no. But then quickly I said, this could lead to a squeeze. I'm curious what you think of this headline.
Yeah, so right now, that's a lot to fall. I'm not gonna lie, 19% last week, but you got to remember how much coin has ran up. A lot of people are in profit, right? I mean, we're talking tons. Kathy Wood was somebody who has been dumping her bag for this last 3 months, right? It seems like every week she's dumping 10 million, 10 million, 10 million. And I think that what's going to happen potentially is she is going to be right here and kind of claiming that it was a top for Coinbase. But I do think that Coinbase is going to come down. You're going to get some new buyers to come in, buy in that dip. Coinbase is going to be is probably going to be up there with Bitcoin as a top 5 asset in the world. Just the main fact that, Brian Armstrong and what he's doing and how he's running that company, and they're buying Bitcoin for their books. And he's always innovating and pushing the limits here, very similar to how Steve Jobs was in like the thousands, right? That's what Brian Armstrong is today. He's always open to new ideas. He's always open to new innovations. And I think that Coinbase, getting Coinbase stocks at last week up 19%, I think is a win. Coinbase is going to be they're going to be the Apple of our generation, of our decade.
Yeah, I mean, for our space, for sure, they're the leading public company. I truly believe that. I think MicroStrategy, they're different. Just their approach to things is differently. I feel like Coin has like actual like business structure and infrastructure and stuff for our industry here. But hey, MicroStrategy is probably not a bad buy as well. But 19% falling last week, like you said, I look at this as such an opportunity to grab up some coin. But do you only get like coin the stock itself, or would you be a little risky here and take a call option that goes out a year? So meaning in 12 months, because I think that could actually even be like a smart play, because like I think maybe some people got spooked a little bit last week. The TradFi guys are like, oh no, Bitcoin pulled back to 112, or Ethereum, all these tariffs and stuff like that. But it was more of, was it like a bull trap, or, what I mean? To where the Kathy Woods, some of these other people are saying, hey, thank you for that discount for coin. I'm going to take a 12-month long when Bitcoin is running at 180, coin's going to be thriving. Do you think that's a smart play?
I love that. I honestly didn't think about that. How much leverage can you get on that? Can you get as much as you want? Like, I'm not going to understand call options too well. Like, if I took a call option today saying, let's just say I wanted coin to double the price. I say, I think coin's going to be double higher next May. I can take that option.
Yeah, so the way that call options and put options work basically is that there's another side to it where people have to put up like capital and stuff, right? But there's strike options that you can take, meaning the price that you get in at, and then there's a date that pulls out. So you can put as much typically as you want into a call option, but depending on like your price that you get, because there's different prices that you can get as well, and then the dates that are pushed out. And obviously the further out, the more expensive it is for you, like the higher strike price and all these things. But with that being said, you can find like something in the middle that works well, right? So I think that there's probably an opportunity there. And that's the thing, like we don't have that type of environment over here in crypto yet. I think that's coming, but I think that brings in a lot of liquidity, man, once that actually happens. But yeah, so you could, probably find something. I look at this as an opportunity probably for a call option, a 12-month call option, you know what I mean? Yeah. On Robinhood or wherever that you're looking at. Just because if you truly think that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to have some sort of blow off the top, and Solana too, and obviously the blue chips towards the end of this year, and then next year is going to be bullish as well because of 6 rate cuts, then why not do and this is not financial advice for the audience. They'll come back if you end up losing on this and try to kill me, but I'm just looking at it from a logical perspective, right? So that's how I see it. And the put options could get squeezed the hell, but of course, it's if they have a shorter duration, maybe like a month and a half, but man, I think you're messing with fire here if you're trying to pile up some put options on the coin ticker.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I would say I got to figure out a way to do it. I would take out a long or a call option on Coinbase today.
Yep. A padded poo right here says that's a good play, Yagobi. Just make sure the call is deep in the money and go December 2026 expiry. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that for sure. All right. So I think we're both in agreement here that coin is kind of looking juicy, right?
Well, it just shows you that TradFi went from risk on to risk off, and it's only a matter of time before they go back to risk on. And coin is that play for them.
And this is where the degeneracy of us can kind of benefit us for once, right? It's like, okay, they go back and forth, but us, we're just like, no, we're degenerates for like until this board is officially over. Yeah, for sure. All right, so this next one's interesting. Speaking of Coinbase, they put out an interesting ad recently. Okay, it was portraying that the financial system isn't working and needs to be replaced in the UK, and then
I love this.
All of a sudden it was banned by UK media outlets. So I'm going to show you the ad, you in the audience. I'm going to play it here, but it's about 2 minutes, but I'm only going to play the first minute just because, you know, get a feel of what it is. But let me get this going here. Let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
No.
All right, let me make sure that the volume is up here.
Oh, this is where that guy's house caves in. I think I did see this. Ryan Armstrong reposted it. Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
every time we show a video, dude, I feel like I'm back in like school and it's like video time. Turn the lights off. All right, here we go. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I got it now. Yeah, here it goes.
We ain't got no troubles, no reason to complain. Cause here in Great Old Britain, we just love it when it rains. Morning. We're cozy here at home, even though it's not our own. But wait a few more years and you can say everything is just fine. Everything is grand. You'll like to get no better when you're living by the letter in this pleasant land. Everything is just fine. Everything is great. The streets can't get no cleaner, nor the rat.
Wow. So what was the idea behind it, you think?
Well, the idea is that like the financial system is broken. They're enslaving you to their system, and crypto fixes that, right? And so, you know, the fact that like the UK media outlets automatically like ban this right away, like to me, that just shows how much embed the UK and the EU is probably still in with the WEF and, you know, the IMF, right? They're all globalist kind of group, right? And they had this huge agenda, you know, you will own nothing and be happy. And that's exactly what that was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your reaction to that? And is there still going to be this huge like battle that crypto has to face with like these governments, the shadow government?
So I love the fact that it got banned, right? I love it because it's everything that we hate, right? So it's them coming out and doing exactly what we know they're all about, right? It's them showing their cards again. And the fact that they banned it, you know, a free government who's not worried about anything, they don't care. You can put anything you want on a commercial. It doesn't matter, especially if it's from a publicly traded company, right? It's like whatever. But the fact that they banned it just shows that they show their cards again. They're afraid. They are so worried about what crypto can do to their control that it's almost pathetic. And I think they're going to learn the hard way, but it is going to take their voters to kind of step up and get a lot of those people out of power, just like we did here, right? I mean, our team crypto stepped up and kind of pushed it. They got to save their country, and if they don't, they're going to keep getting this type of stuff. But again, I love it. I love everything about this. I love what Brian Armstrong has done again.
Yeah, and it does kind of show you, like, you know, that there's still work to be done, especially in the, you know, in Europe. And yeah, I feel like Asia's more of like smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. Like, you know, China came out this last week and said they banned Bitcoin mining and all this stuff. They're the second largest holder of Bitcoin in terms of countries, right? So to me, that is more of a control thing versus they're really trying to, you know, get rid of crypto altogether. That's not what their motive is. It's more of, hey, you know, we want to let you guys know that you know, we're still in charge here, versus this is kind of like we're still in charge, but this is more like we're scared. Like we don't want our citizens to come out and start like saying, hey, we want our freedoms. You know what I mean? So we'll see where this goes, but I do think that there's a lot of work, and I think that the US can be such a good blueprint for the rest of the world on how to get that done.
Yeah, 100%. And this is a revolution, right? This is very similar to the internet revolution. And every country that stood pat on, no, we're not going to this internet standard. And there was countries that did that. They all got left behind, right? They all became kind of like third world countries in a lot of aspects. And the countries that said, hey, no, we want to go full force with this. Countries like the US, like China and stuff like that, really kind of pushed the internet right into ways. China did it in a different way than the US did. They did it in a very centralized way. The US did it in a very public way, but still they all embraced the internet. And I think the same thing with crypto. If you don't embrace crypto, you're going to get left behind. And that's a choice. And that's a choice of people who are voting as well, because they have a lot of say. I mean, a lot of these countries, they are democratic societies where you do vote, right? So
yeah, well, that's what from the outside, that's what it looks
from
like,
the outside
right?
looking in. So
yeah, so we'll see if that happens. But I agree, one thing for sure is that like money will determine how they operate later. So if they do see the US thriving, they see like these other countries thriving because they did flip, they will eventually come along even if it's late. So we'll see.
I mean, I remember our election was 70-30, right? That's how much we wanted crypto to be kind of pushed up, and other stuff too. But in my opinion, it was a lot of the crypto, the society stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was like a huge part of the momentum that the winning side got, right? You're talking about capital that helps spread the messages and all that stuff. So we shall see. All right, this one's we can kind of hit on this quick because we talked a little bit about this last week. But Tron founder Justin Sun finally made his space trip with Blue Origin after placing a $28 million bid. So we didn't know how much he paid for it, but now we saw that he went up in the capsule. He did basically the Katy Perry trip part 2, right? And it was weird. They went from like Katy Perry to Justin Sun, but it was kind of who paid the price tag, right? $28 million. And he went up there and they had some video footage of him up there, and he showed a little picture of himself as a little kid. He goes, this is me as a little kid, always want to go to space. Right? So like he fulfilled his dream. When he came out, he kissed the dirt, which was weird. But yeah, so $28 million, is it worth it? What is Justin Sun trying to do here? Or is it just kind of a man fulfilling his childhood dream?
So real quick though, $21 million to Justin Sun is equivalent to $21 for me and you. So let me ask you, would you pay $21 to go to space?
I don't want to go to space. My wife does. Like I'm one of those guys that like, what will go wrong can go wrong, or what can go wrong will go wrong, right? I forgot what law that was, but it's anyhow, for me, like I need to see like a ton of regular people going to space for like years and years. Then I might take a trip up there. But yeah, I don't know. $21 eventually. Yeah, of course that's cheap. But
yeah that's what I'm saying. Like you can't compare money to him. $21 million is a good night to him, right? I mean, he could go buy like whatever he wants, right? So it's one of those things where it's not a loss to him at all. But what this does, this is bigger than that. This is getting normal people to hear the name Justin Sun. That's what this is about, right? This is his Katy Perry moment. Katy Perry was like irrelevant before this, right? No one even heard her name for years, but that brought her back. And now she's on this world tour and stuff like that, right? Justin Sun, the same thing. I think now he has the gold card. He wanted this. Obviously, he probably wanted to go to space, but he also, I think, wanted this as a good publicity stunt for people to know his name, for normies to kind of learn who Justin Sun is. Because I think when you have that kind of money, you want that kind of power to come with it. And I think that what he's trying to do here in the US, because that's such a United States type of thing to do, right? To go to space with Blue Origin. So
it is 100%. All right, really quick. CFTC launches Crypto Sprint to implement Trump's administration's crypto recommendations, working closely with SEC on Project Crypto Initiative. So we can hit on this really quickly, but I feel like this is kind of another part of like a regulatory entity that's saying, hey, look, we want to kind of push this along, but we want things to go the right way and do it the right way. Is this encouraging for you?
Yeah, I mean, this is just something they have to do, right? They got to push this forward. Like, if the president wants it, then you got to have a working group to push this. And I think this is perfect for the CFTC because they've been somebody who's been crypto friendly. I mean, when the SEC was trying to ban stuff, they were like, "Hey, no, this is our jurisdiction. Like, what are you talking about?" So I think that this is really, I mean, it's about time, right? And it does seem like these people are on board with Trump's idea and Trump's plan.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I do think like that them before, if you remember last administration, the CFTC and the SEC were kind of at odds with each other a little bit for, hey,
They
like
were.
we're, like Ethereum's ours, like we, but
This is
this
our
one,
jurisdiction, yeah.
but what they're saying is, hey, like let's work together, let's get this done, let's push it forward. So I love that energy and that kind of perspective. So
100%.
all right, so this one's a little degen here. Before we get into
Get it.
crypto fear and greed, I'm curious because we don't hit on Solana very often, but one of our big partners works in the Bitcoin and Solana ecosystem. So, and there's a lot of players over there. So the Fartcoin dev, this was interesting because I've been a little degen lately myself. The Fartcoin dev launches Fartless on Bonk's Let's Bonk Launchpad. Is this an official flip from Pump to Bonk? And I'm not asking if he's trying to take Fartcoin to Bonk because it launched on Pump. Both are on Solana. But is this saying, okay, the Fartcoin dev is saying that Bonk is the place, it's where it's at, I want to launch a token here, kind of the ecosystem? And how do you perceive this? Should we track like big projects, devs, wallets in the future to try to get into a token early? Like, what do you think about this?
I think this guy was like, I need to go on vacation. I need to fund it. So I'm going to launch a coin and get the creator fees.
I was thinking the same thing, bro.
So I don't know. This is a derivative. It's a two-sided derivative. You got Fartcoin, right? And then you got Useless, which is the #1 coin on Bonk. So derivatives don't usually do great. But again, this is and I don't know enough to comment on this about the Fartcoin dev. Is he doxed? Is he, has he launched coins in the past besides Fartcoin? Does he still hold his initial Fartcoin? Right. So I don't really know enough to this, but I love this. I love people who are launching meme coins. Like I want to launch a meme coin now just to kind of have fun with it. And it like never and it really depends what he does with this. If this is just, hey, I'm gonna get the creator fees, and that's awesome. Good for him. He deserves it, right?
Yeah. So it got CTO'd, and by the way, Fartcoin was initially CTO'd too. After like he what he does is he launches them, and then I think maybe, I don't know if he ever takes a position. I think he took a position here, but and then he doesn't want to lead it, and so a CTO would take it over, and that's exactly what happened here. And I was actually shocked because I was in the exact same mindset as you. I was like, typically derivatives will do like a 10% of what their original token does, and market cap, the original Fartcoin we know is right at 1 billion. So you're thinking, oh crap, I'll take $100 million market cap, but it's also a derivative of Useless, which is a $300 million market cap. So the reason why I think it has a different trajectory, though, is because first, it's a derivative of two successful tokens. Secondly, the Fartcoin dev launched it. Thirdly, the CTO that took it over is really strong. And you can see it literally launched yesterday morning, and it's already gotten to $10 million market cap. So it's pretty quick in a little bit of a dry degen market, right? So it's going to be interesting to see, how this plays out. But more than that, right? Like, okay, it's at 8.7 million. Let's just say it gets to like 30, 40, 50 million. But, like, should this be a part of a degen's strategy to look at go track, previous devs wallets that launched something that like has reached $1 billion market cap? Would you be bullish on that?
Yes and no. So for this guy, and if he launches 90 coins, then no, not at all, right? But if you launch 2, like, I would say yes, right? So it really depends how, like, it's kind of like you don't want to like saturate the market with bullshit, right? But if you have one idea and that leads to a second idea, I think that's great. But if you have one idea that leads to 900 other ideas, then I think that's terrible.
Yeah. What about Bonk's team? Them seeing this, are they kind of like, okay, we don't necessarily want something that's similar name as Fartcoin, or do we steal the thunder and just make a statement here and say, Fartless, we're now gonna have the #1 Fartcoin related thing, which is gonna be extremely hard to do, mind you. Getting to like 1 billion is hard to do. It's like less than 1% when you launch a token, right? So how do you think they view it? Or are they just kind of like, whatever happens here, kind of like, we'll see?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they want this to be the new Fartcoin, right? Or at least half of a Fartcoin. And what that's going to do for them, it's going to make them billionaires if they're not already, right? This because of the trading fees and stuff like that. So I think 100% they want this, but like Fartless, I'm not in. I have no position in Fartless. I've never touched it, never even looked at it up until this morning when we were kind of covering it a little bit in the pre-market. But I love it. Like, so I'm thinking of the memes that come with this, like Kanye's Heartless.
Oh, dude,
and then
people
the
were
other one,
already
like,
posting
Fartless.
that. Like,
were they?
Be
Okay,
so fartless, or they're like,
yeah,
"Hey,
yeah.
you gotta hodl your farts in." That's what they've been
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Like, don't
I love
release
it,
your
but
farts. You gotta hodl them.
like I'm not really I don't play in Solana. I got in that cancer token on Friday and I couldn't even hold it. I skits out, right? I skits out, man. I'm like, it's going to zero. Ah! I can't hold this type of stuff. So it's not my game. My game is runes. I like holding runes. I like communities and stuff like this. But this is I love watching it. I love seeing it on the timeline. I love that it is here, and I love the meme. The meme's funny.
Yeah.
It's just it's really if the community can get behind it and really kind of push this forward, I think that it could be really big.
So yeah, so two things here. Their holder count is moving up. It's at 8,000, which I think is pretty solid. And then also their community is at like 2,000 on X, which, those communities kind of die off, after like a couple hundred or 500. So we'll see what happens. But in the future, I'm going to be probably tracking some big devs wallets just in case.
Yeah. 100%.
Right. Just in case, you never know. But yeah. All right, guys, we're going to get into that crypto fear and greed. Did you want to do that, or you want me to? I can't
show my monitor, so I won't be able to see it. So you can do it.
Yep. All right, let's take a look here at the crypto fear and greed. Let me make sure.
Don't show me. You got to make me guess.
Yeah, I am okay. let me pull that down, because if you guys don't know, StreamYard shows a little hint.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, I've looked at that before.
Really?
Oh
no, man,
I'm just kidding. No. For how many times I've gotten it wrong? No, I haven't looked at it very often.
I'm doing something different. I'm giving you like 3 numbers, bro. I'm not doing the one number.
Okay. So I gotta look at historical views. So last week, man, it's weird me doing this to you. All right, last week we were at greed at 67. Yesterday we were neutral. So yesterday, Sunday, to weekly candle, we were at neutral at 48. Where are we today?
I'm gonna say 44 to 46.
All right, you're wrong. It's 52.
Am I? Whoa, we went the other way. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was right.
You know what? It was actually, sorry, the when I say yesterday, it's more of Saturday, and then this one is Sunday evenings. But still, I mean, yesterday's weekly candle close wasn't anything super special, right? But it was a little bit, a positive sign. But I think today we're looking good. Ethereum's back to 3640 and all that stuff. And by the way, we're gonna get into the Bitcoin price action here, guys, brought to you guys by Artura Finance. Artura.finance.
Wow. Ethereum's up 4%. My bad.
Yeah, it is. No, you're good. Artura.finance is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Soon you're going to be able to trade Bitcoin fungible tokens, synthetic ones like Dog Go to the Moon, $1 Billion Cat, etc. Ordi Sats, maybe. We'll see. Maybe some Alkanes. I don't know. But they're also going to allow you to trade derivatives of TradFi assets, MicroStrategy, Coin, possibly. So that could be a good play, depending on when they get that up. But right now they are launched on Botanics. And Botanics is the spider chain of Bitcoin layer 2. And so you can trade Bitcoin and Ethereum there, and you can also earn points, XP points for Artura and Botanics. So make sure you go to Artura.finance to check that out. But let's get into some Bitcoin and Ethereum and the crypto bubbles as well. Sorry, I got to add that real quick because I'm not used to this, but I'm getting it. I'm getting the hang of it a little bit here. But yeah, let's take a look here at Bitcoin's price action. Again, help us out, guys. Share the space, smash that like, sub to the YouTube channel X at Abstract. We appreciate each and every one of you. Let's take a look here at the hour chart for Bitcoin. All right, let's take a look and see what is happening here. All right, so it looks like here on Saturday, which, Saturday was actually kind of a downtrend day, up until the evening, but then, late night into the early morning Sunday, we had that rebound, which that is kind of how we got that 52 score for Bitcoin the crypto greed meter there. But let's take a look at what's happening here currently. Let's pull back some data to more localize it. All right, so the MACD looks like it wanted to come out here. So this is interesting. You can see right here, it started to curl up, and this probably psyched out some people here. So hopefully you weren't one of those people that got into like a scalp long here, thinking that the fast line was going to pass the slow line here, the orange line. It actually did a horrible turnaround, a recurl. I hate that, man. You can see right here, and this is a momentum indicator of the MACD. It was exhausting here, and it literally stopped and turned the brakes on and said, nah, not yet. But doesn't mean that it's over yet. We'll see what happens here. We're kind of hanging out in the middle of the stochastic RSI, so it looks like it just wants to decide if it wants to go towards the overbought or go back to the oversold. Hopefully, we trend back up to the overbought territory there. Let's kind of take a look at what's happening with support and resistance at these levels. All right, currently we are sitting at 114,660, and it looks like our support, and this goes back to last night at 11 p.m. Okay, that's cool. I'll take that data. All right, so it looks like we're kind of balanced out here. So it's good that the support is having a slight edge here, right above that in the 114,800. We maintain that slight edge, a little edge here, and then we go more back to balance above that. But that's good because we're not seeing like an overpowering resistance area yet. Again, these are kind of I say again because I talk about how the bars, the more that they're pushed in, the lower the volume is, but that could be good because if you get some decent sized bids, it pushes it up quicker. But we do hit more of a higher volume area here, but that would actually help because we have, the support is dominating here at the 114,800 right there. So where do we hit resistance again? Right above that. Where the volume kind of closes in again. So we're in a good spot here. Let's look and see. And then we have support, really strong support below that with a lot of volume at 114,600. So I think we're in a good spot. If we can kind of hang out here, get some large bids come in, I think for the rest of today, we could kind of trend towards the upside, get back to 115. We'll see if that happens. So that's the 1 hour chart here. Let's look at what the 4 hour is showing us. So the 4 hour is showing us that we are in some buy pressure right now. It's not extremely aggressive, but it's pretty healthy buy pressure. You can see most of these MACD candles look like they're bigger than the last, except for where we are right here. Looks like it's hitting a little bit of a stall. You can see that it wicked up here on this 4 hour candle, the most recent one, right? But let's take a look and see what's happening on the stochastic. Stochastics looks like it wants to hang out possibly a bit here. And remember, each candle's 4 hours, so we could have a little bit of a duration longer hanging out up here on the overbought. And then also this could pop back open even stronger. Right now it looks healthy, but having the next MACD candle being a little bit bigger and continuously dark green is going to be a positive thing. We'll see if that 1 hour chart can get us there. We'll see how long this can last. Right now, I will say that on the 4 hour chart, it is showing, I know it hasn't turned white yet, but it is showing a little bit of a stall, just a tiny bit of stall. You can see that because it's, it's not much bigger than the previous candle, but it's, the fast line is still kind of in that upward trajectory, hasn't curled down yet. So we're fine. If we can get a strong push on that shorter time frame, the hour will be okay here. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily is actually starting to look good for Bitcoin. I know that we're still in the buy or sell pressure here, but man, this setup is starting to look pretty darn good. I would like to see the fast line here curl up a little bit more, but man, this is kind of looking like an extended, not really a bull flag, but it did creep down here, but we could see, this kind of push up here. So the daily, I like the daily. We did bump down below the top part of the channel for the 50-day EMA. That's okay. We did pop back up above it right here, though. This daily candle that we're at right now, we popped back above it. Can we maintain this? I think that's going to be very important. We want to stay above the 50-day EMA on the daily chart. So we're looking okay here. I think the setup's starting to look good. Once this curls a little bit more, we could see Bitcoin take off and make another move. All right, the weekly looks like it's a little bit exhausted, but if this daily chart does happen to have that strong move to the upside, maybe we for the next couple of days we chop a little bit, but we get that push up, but maybe we get a strong headline or something. This could open back up. And I will say that the weekly chart has been, every time we think it's exhausted, it pops back open, right? So we'll see if that continues here. I'm not worried about the weekly yet. I think we're in a good spot, guys. See, I think with the global money supply and how Bitcoin has been acting, I wasn't even frustrated when we got to 112, man. I felt like 112 was like, okay, that was normal. You know, it was a normal kind of pullback. And then we're already back to like 115 and stuff like that. So Bitcoin's still looking strong here.
I was just mad that Benjamin Cohen was right again. That's what I was more mad about. Because he said 111.
There's going to be a time though where he's wrong, and it's going to have to do with micro caps, and it has to do with the alts and stuff like that, because that's what happened last time. But maybe, I don't know, maybe he gets out in front of it. We'll see. All right, Ethereum is looking good as well. I'm looking at the daily chart for Ethereum. It's kind of mimicking Bitcoin a little bit, but I feel like it in terms of unit price, it looks stronger. And you know, we've been looking at the daily chart because, you know, I keep harping on the fact that, you know, Ethereum tested 4,000 3 times in 2024. This is the only first attempt at 4,000 after 7 months in 2025. And so you can see too, this bounce back right here, man, this looks like a strong double leg up right here. You can see right on the daily. Do we have a continuation of this? You know, August, there was a report, and it was Robert Kawasaki. I didn't show it because I'm not going to use that one, I don't think, for this. But there was a report of him saying, you know, August is typically bearish. He's ready for a $90,000 dip back down because he wants to buy it back up. But you know, he didn't look at the actual performances of the bull year August, because the last two have been green as heck. So you got to pay attention to the rhythm of matching patterns, not just every year, right? So I'm bullish for Ethereum, man. You guys have known that. I don't care.
The strength right now is insane.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's not doing anything. It's up almost 5%. It's wild.
Yep, exactly. And this double leg up on the daily, man, just looks so good. Let's hope we can continue this up. I mean, and then like just the positioning of the stochastics down here, I do want to see this kind of curl up a little bit more, but I feel like, you know, just being a little bit patient, you could really get into a good spot here. You know, we'll see. Again, I'm not saying it doesn't touch 34.50 again. Maybe it does one more time, but August typically is a bullish month for crypto in the bull run year. But we'll see if that continues. But that is going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum here. Let's take a look at crypto bubbles. The crypto bubbles chart. Let's look at the top 100. We got 523 people in here. That is what's up on a Monday. You guys are paying attention. That's what's important. All right, it's looking good, man. I told you. I didn't even look at the bubbles before in pre-show when I said, you know, some of these alts are looking lively, man. Some of these alts are looking lively. All right, let's talk about a couple of them. You got Pengu bouncing back with a 4.2% upswing here. You got M, which is Memeland. Memeland is one of the backers for the new Moonit partnership with 9gag, which is a meme launchpad AI mechanism partnership, whatever you want to say, up 28.7%. So it looks like it's still thriving from that. Uniswap pulling up 9.1%. Hex is back in the green, and Hex is when Hex is in the green. Yeah, you know that like alts are looking pretty decent here. You got Pulse X up 11.6%. Fartcoin has been a leading indicator for us for the alt market, is up 3.8%. It's always good when Fartcoin's up. Tau is up 3.1%. You got Bitcoin Cash pulling up 6.3%. Optimism pulling up 6.1%. IP had a pretty good last week, so it's pulled back 4.3%. The Ton Network has pulled back 6.9%. This one's interesting. I wonder if they got some bad news headlines or something. Ondo is up 2.7%. Jasmy up 3.6%. Here you got AVAX up 4.4%. Caspa up 3.5%. Crow Crypto.com up 4.2%. Chainlink up 4.2%. ICP pulling up 2.5%. Cake from BNB up 2%, or Pancake Swap, I should say. Stacks, our Stacks guys up 2.1%. Near Protocol up 3.8%. Sui up 2.4%. A lot of stuff going to come out of Sui, man. I feel like there's a lot of projects working over there. Lido up 3.6%. Pump actually green for once, up 1.9%. Let's take a look at the top 200. All right, we're going to be expecting Jeff, the founder of Merlin Chain, to hop in here in a couple minutes. So make sure you guys are tuning into Merlin Monday here. All right, SNEC has pulled up 6.6%. I'm curious of your thoughts on SNEC because they got added to, I think, Gate.io last week as well. Do you think they continually get added to new exchanges? And what do you think about that token and community?
Yeah, I love Sneck. You know, if I was a Cardano diehard, I would definitely hold Sneck. I think Sneck is the dog of Cardano. I'm not a guy who's really playing on Cardano too much. I like, you know, the Bitcoin runes because it has that, you know, it's never really it's new, right? Bitcoin meme coins is something this cycle. Cardano, I guess Cardano meme coins or something this cycle. Yeah, I don't know. I would put it up there with some of the runes.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it does give me kind of a little bit of that similar kind of community, right?
Does,
You know,
yeah.
they're diehards. They're a little bit. I would say they're probably about half the strength of dog in terms of community, but
Maybe I don't know.
quarter.
Yeah, I would say 40%, yeah.
Gotcha. All right, useless. The token that is completely useless on Bonk Fund, but the market cap is good. It's up 16.8%, and it's sitting at $267 million market cap there. 1 inch pulled up 9.4%. Mog, for all you crazy moggers out there, it's up 7%. Starknet pulling up 3%. Radium pulling up 4.5%. Syrup, which is a part of the Maple ecosystem, is up 8.1%. PopCat pulling up 4.1%. Justin Sun's protocol on Tron up 1.1%. What else do we have here? Turbo up 0.5%. Gala up 3.1%. ZK up 4.4%, and our dog army that is listening in is up 4.7%. I know you guys have been kind of gut punched a little bit, but you guys can enjoy this pull up at 4.7% here. Pith is up at 4.1%, the chain link competitor there. And then this is an interesting one, a Luna Classic up 2.1%, man. Yeah, so that is going to be the Bitcoin and crypto market watch and price action for you guys.
Yeah, man, 100%. All right. Let's try to jump into our next topic here. So every Monday, we are lucky enough to have one of the founder of Merlin Chain. That is Jeff. So Merlin Chain is something truly special in my opinion. What they've done over the last year, right, from the launch of Merlin, you know, they have the ordinals, they have the runes over there. They are the most Bitcoin native L2 that's ever exists, right? But now you're going to add in the AI. Now you're going to add in the BitFi. I mean, what they're doing is really changing the game, and we're lucky enough to have Jeff here today. So without further ado, let's bring him up. Jeff, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thanks so much for being here, sir.
Hi, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man? So when are you going to go to space with the Blue Origin as well? Is that next week? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, did you guys watch the live stream?
So I didn't see the live stream, but I saw the recording.
Yeah, I watched the live stream. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So a lot of people thought that those trips were fake, but they're obviously not, you know, because you see the live stream and all that stuff. But that's really cool. Would you ever do that?
Yeah, many people think, you know, like landing on moon, you know, like Apollo was fake too. But yeah.
That's true.
Sorry, what did you ask?
Would you ever go up to space, or are you more...
Oh yeah, if I have the chance, you know, if I have the chance or money, of course. And but I think, you know, it's gonna be much cheaper, you know, later the years. And I'm just you know, glad right now there are, like, I think hundreds of people have taken, you know, Blue Origin, and I think the experience was pretty cool. Yeah.
Definitely sounds like it was really interesting. For me, I want to wait until one is cheaper and like a lot of people go, so I know it's like extra safe. But we'll see what happens.
I mean, nothing is extra safe, you know. Like
I need the extra safe. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
But all right, cool. So speaking of extra safe, let's talk about the markets here. You know, Bitcoin is kind of going back and forth. We had the tariff news last week, and that kind of scared some people and shook a little bit of people out of the markets, but it's showing a little bit of rebound strength here. Ethereum's looking strong. Some of these alts were actually having green day today. How are you feeling about the market between now and before Q4? Do you think we're kind of in this ranging area, or more of, okay, game on right now?
Yeah, I think August could be tricky. To be honest, August is always tricky. I don't know if you guys remember last year, August, when do you guys remember that?
Yeah,
Germany was selling, right? Germany was just dumping Bitcoin left and right.
Yeah. I mean, the news are all bad news. Also, the jobs, the data for the new jobs in US also crashed as well. And I think last year August was really bad too. I think it was like hitting like 48,000, something like
Mhm.
that, on August 1st. But yeah, I think August could be tricky. We need to stay, over 116, 117 right now, to be safe. If tomorrow we're still going down, I think we could, suffer something like last year. But I think the interest rate will be, lower, will be dropped next month. So yeah, I think September will be much better. But August, I don't know. It could be very, very tricky.
Real quick. So when's your top? Because like for me, I'm thinking more of May next year. Yagobi's kind of saying Q4 this year. When is Jeff's top for the cycle?
For
Cycle.
Bitcoin
Yeah.
or
For-
for altcoin?
For crypto in general.
Yeah, because I think because I really think next year could be very, very high for Bitcoin. Like April, May, something like that. But I think altcoin season should be this Q3 to 4. Especially
Okay.
Q4. But I don't know. I don't know about that. Next year, because sometimes it's like I think this cycle you can see Bitcoin can be really high and altcoin can still be freaking dead. So yeah, I think that's two separate questions.
Can
Yeah.
Bitcoin hit 700K by next May?
No.
Oh, dude, Jeff doesn't give like straight answers. That was a straight one. That was like no. I love that.
I always give straight answers.
I mean,
just like-
I don't mean it like that. I mean, like like you think about it, like you're like
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. But this one, you already knew in your head. You're like, no.
no, 700K. I mean, Chinese yuan. Yeah, of course. Now it's 700K Chinese yuan. I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah.
That is funny. That is funny. All right, let's get into Merlin chain here. You guys, you and your team have been traveling a lot. You guys do a lot of like events in Asia specifically, and sometimes you go to Europe and US. You'll have some representation there, but Asia's been kind of hot lately. What's been going on with Merlin chain? Are you guys getting like a lot of interest from some of these Asian countries? We know Korea has had a lot of interest with Merlin and stuff like that. But give us some feedback.
Yeah. I think in August, we'll be traveling to Japan and Hong Kong. Japan is, is just a general event. We'll be happy to see, lots of projects there. And also, I think Japanese market is really, really, special because first, their exchanges don't list tokens at all. I think they list like 8 tokens per year, something like that. So you have to get like license. If someday Merlin is actually listed in Japan, I think we made it. It's like really, really, really like small amount of tokens can be listed. And also we're going to Hong Kong for the Bitcoin. I don't know the name, Bitcoin
Asia
or Bitcoin Summit. I don't know, but like it's a main Bitcoin event. But this time it's gonna be mostly institutions. I don't think ordinals or ruins projects are gonna be there, to be honest. But I think it's gonna be more institutions. We have lots of meetings with Nasdaq companies, with Hong Kong listed companies as well. Many companies they're trying to to work something out with crypto. We might have some good news along later this month. But yeah, I think institutions and IPO company are very interested in partnership with crypto. I don't know if you guys saw the news about Babylon last week.
No, what is it?
See, so like you guys should more Bitcoin ecosystem guys. I know it's not Ordinals revolution anymore, but yeah, they had huge news. I think it's huge news. I mean, their price doesn't change much, to be honest, but I think it's huge news because I think they basically got IPO. They somehow have a company that is only focused on Babylon ecosystem. They raised $100 million
Wow.
from Babylon Foundation in the market, and also some investors to buy token, to buy Babylon token, and also they do baby, and they also have some plans about Bitcoin Fi, BTC Fi, with other institutions. But I mean, you have a legit decent company in Nasdaq, and there are lots of things you can do. You maybe can do ETF for Babylon. Who knows? So
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's a huge news for Babylon. It's like I think they're they have they have lots of money from VCS, of course. So I think it's huge news for them. It's great news for all BTC 5 projects as well. I think Ethena is the first one doing that. Ethena is getting like $400 million to buy Ethena token, and Babylon is the second one. Who knows? I think everyone is trying to be next. So yeah, this is like one of the things right now projects are doing. Working with institutions, trying to get us back, or buy listed companies from the market, like Justin Sun.
Yeah, I actually feel like SPACs are like perfect for crypto. I mean, just because like it's the degen, a little bit of the degen side of TradFi mixed with crypto, but like a lot of these companies, you still have to show, you have substance and you have a plan and all these things. But this could actually spur the alt market if you think about it, because what could happen is they're raising these funds through SPACs, buying back their token. You have whales and retail users that bought these tokens at lower price. They might sell some at that point once the rebuy happens, but it can actually create this, ignite the rest of retail in, because now they're going to be FOMOing and be like, hold on a second, these projects that were like so cheap are now jumped up 10 times. What's next?
Yeah, I think, and also sadly, that's the only thing the altcoin can do. Like I don't want to say the ticker name, but I can give you some like examples. Like a token which is $1 billion FDV right now. Guess how many retail users are buying per day on Binance or OKX?
What, like maybe 10,000?
Yeah, pretty much. 20 to 50,000. Just retail buying the token.
That's low.
It's really it's a $1 billion token. You see volume like like couple millions, few millions, but the actual buy from the retail is about 20, 50K per day, and also there are some people selling as well. So that's why the altcoin market is so bad, because the retail don't buy, or the retail don't have money to buy.
Yeah, I did check Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, and Decrypt. Nobody had anything about this Babylon news, so which is crazy to me. Why do you think the West isn't like showcasing this type of information?
I don't know. I think Babylon is a Western project. Their founders are basically white. Some
really?
Asians.
I thought they were Chinese.
Oh yeah, I mean they're Chinese, but
mixed.
Yeah, mix. And they're like, I mean, I met their whole team. Their whole team is like 99% white. Sorry,
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's racist or not, but
no,
yeah,
it's not
white. Because I don't know if the card is right or wrong, but yeah, they're Caucasians, and their founders, they're just like PhDs from Stanford, PhD from like Princeton. So it's a very, very, very Western project, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know why it's not being. I don't know why it's being kind of. It feels like it's being pushed down a little bit, because we don't hear about Babylon the way it does, right?
Yeah, I feel like they're not reporting so much on the SPAC stuff too. You know what I mean?
That's
it's
true.
like I think there was.
And also, it's not like an official announcement from Nasdaq. It's like more like a teaser, which is also real from the company. But it's more like we're going to do this. We're raising 100 mil. We have already complete this run. Blah blah blah. But it's not officially listed listed on Nasdaq right now.
Gotcha. So we might have just got all just got some alpha here. Because this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean there are like 500 million FDV, like 100 million market cap. If they can raise $100 million to buy the token, that token can be like 3 times higher. But no financial advice. I'm just saying if that really happens, because sometimes you don't know.
Yeah, 100%.
Should we expect more of this though? Also, okay. Should we expect more of these projects and stuff to go into SPACs and raise money? And how should we? I don't want you to give financial advice, but like if you were to look for like opportunities, what would that look like? Would you be like, okay, it has to be like a solid project. It has to be like a have already capital backing and then raise more, or like what's because this is new for people, our audience. They're kind of like, what is this about?
Yeah, sure. So I think first, if you, I mean, in August, I bet there are going to be over 50 projects, altcoin projects with SPAC news. So it's going to be like a lot. But I think first, at least these 50 projects are still doing something, because many altcoin projects is basically disappearing. So that's the first thing you have in mind. These projects are still trying to work something out. And the second thing would be like to me, if I'm buying altcoin, except Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, which is the blue chips, I'm targeting those tokens who can potentially be ETF or have the ETF in the next year or so.
Smart.
Because we all see ETF brings tons of volumes on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So what's next one? If you ask ChatGPT this question, it will give you like 5 to 10 token list potentially. So buy those 5 to 10, because that's going to be much better winning odds than other shitcoin.
Yeah, no, that's exciting too. It's really exciting that TradFi is because in order for this stuff to work, we need TradFi to come in and start buying this stuff, right? Like we can't just launch stuff on TradFi and say, hey, we launched it. You actually have to have interest and stuff like that, and you're actually seeing that because a lot of these SPAC companies that they're merging with, they want to find the perfect fit for them, right? That's what they do, right? They put a blank check up there and say we want to get these bought up. So in order to do that, though, you need to have interest, and it is really awesome that TradFi has interest, especially something like the Babylon token. I mean, I feel like our ecosystem, the Bitcoin ecosystem, is the only ones who have seen the Babylon token or even know Baby exists.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I don't like TradFi. I never wear suits. I hate. I don't even have suits. So I hate TradFi. But the thing is, you have to surrender. I'm not surrender. Like compromising. I don't know. Work with them. So you have to do that because that's the only way you can get liquidity. You can get your brand out. You can make retail users from Robinhood to understand what is Bitcoin Layer 2. Because right now apparently the users in Bitcoin ecosystem don't really care about Bitcoin Layer 2. The users from Solana system, they don't really care as well. So you have to find, your target users. You have to find new users and new liquidity, of course.
Yeah, and the perfect group of people, to be honest, and the audience might, knock me for saying this, is people from TradFi because they're capitalists, they're opportunists. So when they hear Bitcoin, they think, okay, Bitcoin is the mother chain, it's the strongest asset in the industry. Now you're telling me there's opportunities to build on it or around it. I'm a capitalist. I'm going into that. You know what I mean? And so I think that's where things change. And every cycle there's a narrative. And I think a lot of times people don't realize what that narrative is going to be until after it's like started to take legs. And I think the narrative could be SPACs, bro. It could be SPACs for this cycle. The ICO was the narrative in 2017. Then in 2021, DeFi. 2025 could be SPACs. It literally could. And it's not even getting into the SPAC. It's how the SPAC affects everything else.
Yeah, like I think ETF is already the narrative for the first half because all the Bitcoin and the Ethereum, Solana going up, it's mostly about ETF. So working with the Wall Street guys, working with institutions, working with PE funds, it already happened, and the SPAC is just like the next thing. So we will see how Ethena, Story, Babylon, all these companies. And I don't know if you guys saw the news, CZ, from Binance. CZ actually, bought a company. I mean, raised money, with lots of my friends. We all chipped in, raised money to get a company, and he's even doing, NASDAQ. So everybody's.
Yeah, they're raising a ton of BNB. I hear, right? That's what the asset is.
That's why BNB is going, off the roof. Yeah.
So you guys that are in the audience, I hope you guys are taking mental notes here because this is going to, in my opinion, could very be a high probability that this is what spurs the alt season, and we'll see if that's the case. But let's get into some more of Merlin chain. The Wizard has been a big part of what you guys have been building, not you guys specifically, but like teams on Merlin chain, building an AI there. So, I'm curious, there's a couple meme coins on Solana that recently got some, attention. The Fartless by the Fartcoin dev. Could I buy something with the wizard that early though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you used Annie as an example last week, but Annie's established. There's $60 million market cap. Could I get into something that's like $6-8 million market cap?
You can get, you can buy it from, 6K, if you have the right contract address, just input the contract address and say, I want to buy, $100 worth of Bitcoin, and you can do that. I think the wizard is about two things. First is to find the signals, to find which is the hottest topic there. We're trying to integrate like questions like, what is the latest meme on Solana that the major influencers are talking about, and it will give you, so this token has been discussed in the past 10 minutes, and give you the contract, and you can click on the contract, go to GMGN to see the data, to see the information, and then you can buy from the wizard. So yeah, I think right now probably meme is the only thing we can trade on daily basis. For major tokens and altcoins, you don't want to trade them on daily basis. Yeah.
Love it. Anything else with Merlin that we haven't talked about that you want to get out to the audience right now?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure the wizard will be launched this week. Last week got delayed, and also I think we talked about the SPAC and ETF things, and as well I think right now Merlin is trying to use the AI product and then get all these modules behind. I don't know if you guys used. I think ChatGPT. Yeah, I think ChatGPT has this kind of module thing, which means you don't we have a screen, a chat box you can talk to. You can talk to the agent. We also have a web with different modules. So staking, for Bitcoin yields, trading on Uniswap, on Radium, on Artura, on Formin. And also, lending, from different lending protocols, and also, like IDO, ICO, IEO, all this on-chain movement. So they're like different modules, and that's gonna be easier for you to choose because many users are still not used to, talking to the agent, but they're more like, okay, give me different things, and I can choose what I can do. So I think that is like an ultimate AI product, in the future, and that could be our, ecosystem page. So next, if there's gonna be, remember when we had Ordinals, Merlin Phantom before, right? So that could be a module in that, AI agent. So
Gotcha.
We'll integrate all kinds of different dApps from Merlin chain. Not like the things I said before, but also, if we have new products coming up on Merlin chain, that could be one of the module, and the agent can do that for you. So in the future, I don't think every dApp needs a homepage. The AI will do all of them for you because it's going to be much easier and much faster. So I think that's the path we are trying to push.
So you go into the wizard and just telling the wizard, hey, I want to buy this on the marketplace. Now that marketplace doesn't even need a front page because that wizard can do everything. Is that kind of what you mean?
You don't even need to talk to him. It could be like I don't know how to say that. It's like an app store. But you don't need to download them. It's like just staking, lending, and gambling, trading, like different things, and you can click that module, and the AI will be more
Specified to it.
Yeah, specified for this use.
I love that.
It's not talking to a general agent, but just for different purpose. I think in the future, every public chain will be something like that, because right now you go to ecosystem page, you check all these dApps, their description is kind of hard to understand. You have to click every one of them, go to their page, check their medium, check their tutorial, connect your wallet, trying to understand what to use. Afraid of their connecting wallet can be a safety issue for your MetaMask. It's very, very complicated. But I think it'll be all in one in like an AI app store.
I love that. I think that's that's innovation right there. That's you again being ahead of everyone else. I love it, man.
Yeah.
It just takes time. Yeah, just takes on
Yeah.
that.
I agree. But it's you want to focus on the ones that you can actually use right now. There's tons of AI projects out there. Some have coins, and that's okay as long as the project has, like, you can use it. It's useful. That's the biggest thing. And so speaking of that, like the version 0.4, you're saying is kind of the release is right around the corner?
Yep.
Awesome.
Amazing. I have a quick question. So I was watched something over the weekend, and this guy was basically saying that there's a lot of projects out there who are ready to drop, a lot of dApps that are ready to drop, but just are waiting for the perfect time. Is this a true statement? Do you think that there's going to be a lot of dApps dropping over the next, let's just say, 6 months if we do get into a bullish momentum, or do you think that's kind of bullshit and maybe there's not?
Excuse.
I think half right. No, I'm trying to be very very straightforward. I think half right means I don't think we will see lots of huge projects like beginning of last year. Like all these projects with 10 plus VC background. Saying okay, we're gonna change the world. We are going to have 100 Bitcoin layer 2s, lots of BTC staking, lots of RWA, lots of this and that and that and this. I don't think that will happen this year anymore because, like I said, the VC they stopped investing. Half of them are liquidated, half of them are still trying to raise money from LP. So without VC, how can you have hundreds, thousands of projects? But the half right part is, I still do the startup scouting every day. I still look at all these new founders, new projects. I think there'll be more and more useful tools, useful products. Like I recently checked one. I don't want to share here. I don't have any relation with them. I don't have any financial like interest with them. But I saw a product just using your on-chain data and off-chain data to tell what is going on with the portfolio, what is your friend buying. So I think there are going to be more useful products, and some of them are not going to release token. Just gonna be useful, and you can pay them, like on a monthly basis, like like a membership kind of stuff. I think lots of new products are coming up, yes, but not
the real
something.
Projects.
Yeah, the real projects.
I love that. I love getting real stuff now.
Because we see so many shitty ideas last year. Like you probably don't remember. We have so many Bitcoin layer 2s. I don't even remember their name, to be honest.
Yeah.
And they have zero use case.
Yeah. So do you think that's because of the regulation though? Because they could have, Silicon Valley could have came into the space 4 years ago and created these subscription service models, but they know what's successful in Web 2, and that's SaaS, software as a service. It's been proven over and over and over. So if you add a subscription as a service and you can pay in USDC Solana or USDC Merlin or USDC Bitcoin, whatever it comes, if that ever comes, is that why though? Because regulation are giving these Silicon Valley type companies the confidence?
Yeah, I think the major reason is in Biden, government, the founders, the entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley are too afraid to join crypto. That's why we see all these bullshit projects, last year, this year as well. But after Trump, election, I think another effect will be they can make much more money in Web 2. So we still see few builders in the space because just check the fundraising and I think ChatGPT, they bought OpenAI, they bought a company for $3 billion, and this company was founded a year ago. So for the founders, it's gonna be much easier to make money in Web 2. Why bother go to Web 3? Because in Web 2, you make real money, you gain actual revenue, and you can sell the company to Sam Altman. In Web 3, you launch a token, you get ripped off by different exchanges, not specifically to anyone, but you get ripped off by everybody. You have to protect your price, and the community will shit on you. Why becoming Web 3 founder? But this year there are some. I think this is gonna be insulting, but tier 2 founders, who can be successful in Web 3, but they cannot compete with all these unicorn in Web 2. They come to the space and they can build much product than tier 1 Web3 founder. That's the fact. Tier 2 Web2 founders, they crush it. They can build much better things than tier 1 Web3 founders. So I think that is what happened. What happened in the past few years.
Yeah, that's actually such a good point, because I talk about that all the time about how traditional developers that didn't have interest in Solidity and all that stuff, because the industry was a little gray, but now it's black and white. It's like you can come and build here now. There's so many talented like traditional developers that can just translate easily over here. And I know vibe coding changes a lot of things anyways, but I agree with you. I think like the second tier Silicon Valley developers will outbuild like the best that have been here, but the ones that do outshine or some of those, they'll be huge here. There's going to be a small handful that are, because they know the industry like the back of their hand. That's where the opportunity is. So there's a couple builders in the Bitcoin ecosystem, and your vision is really great as well, and some other ones, but the ones that are just kind of half-ass it, they're going to be gone.
I know, yeah. They're already gone. You see all these projects last year, they're already gone in my mind.
Yeah, man. Real quick, you can get on that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's a question from Stan. He says, "Is Sam Altman, which is the founder of ChatGPT, OpenAI, says buying Web3 companies?" No, you don't think so?
No way. No.
Okay. And then, so this is a no. Then has Sam contacted Merlin? Thanks.
Oh, I wish. I wish.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I think.
Go.
Yeah, but I think AI crypto is like very, very early stage. So there are lots of things we can do, and sadly we haven't seen many good projects. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. So I'm thinking about launching a meme coin on Solana on Bonk.fun. I found this really, really awesome idea from Bitcoin lore back in like 2010, 2011. And I want to do it. I want to be front facing. I want to buy, never sell. I want to earn the creator fees from Bonk.fun, the 1%. What would you tell me about that? Would you tell me no? Would you say because you don't do it?
Official
no, I'm just asking if it's a good idea. If it's stupid, if it's a good idea, or just be honest.
What's the narrative? Yeah, what's the narrative?
It's Bitcoin lore. It's something from early Bitcoin
no one
days.
No one has used it
yet. It's something that if I tell you offline, you'll be like, "Oh wow, yeah, I get it." Actually, hold on, I can actually put it in the private.
Are you? Is this part of the strategy? Because I feel like you're building up like.
No, I'm seriously. I just want Jeff's advice. Jeff's somebody who's I respect his opinion on it, and if he tells me don't do it, don't be an idiot. Let me know. So that it's in there. So that thing, it was around in the very early days, and I just think it's a great idea, and no one has used it yet.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I think it's never stupid to launch a meme token. I mean, I'll be stupid to launch a meme token because I already have. But I think everyone should launch. It's like writing a blog. If somebody reads it, fine. If nobody reads it, okay. So I think it's never stupid to do that. Second would be, I think the narrative, the name, the narrative, the picture, should be as controversial as it can be. Just because people are too degen about this. And the last thing would be, find your early support. Find somebody who actually, whoever buys the token is a community supporter, not a flipper who just trying to.
Well, that's hard to do. That's hard to find these days.
Yeah, but that's what happened. With Ordinals, with BRC20, with the BRC420. So who knows? But I think the trading environment on Solana is very, very competitive. Like there are bots everywhere, like bots every like millisecond. But yeah, I think it's never too late or stupid to launch a meme token. And I think Bonk.fun, Let's Bonk, it's a very, very good platform. Personally, I like it much more than Bonk. Yeah.
Should I launch it live? Like I mean, that's as fair as I can be. If I launched it
right now,
right on the show, not right now, but.
I mean, if the narrative is something really cool and you can talk about that all day, my suggestion will be launch it live and live stream for as long as you can. Live stream for 24 hours. I think that would be fun.
I'm down.
What? I can do it. Wow. Wow. I'm just finding out about this as his partner. No, I'm just kidding. No,
If
but
I hinted it to him.
I
I hinted
ever
it to him.
token, I want to live stream this, 24/7. I have camera here. If I'm go to sleep, I'm just gonna go sleep, and I will have like iPad here playing some, I don't know, Tom and Jerry. And then if I wake, I will come here to eat my breakfast, to eat my omelet, and talk about this token. I can do this for 24/7. I think this it's like a social experiment, and it could be fun.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, you're not trying to make money. You're not trying to trick someone. You're just making this a social experiment, and I think people love social experiment.
that is true.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think about the name and the lore? Is that good enough?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Look it up.
What's
Look it up.
Yeah,
It's
we can.
pretty cool.
Yeah, we can reconvene of this and do it.
Yeah.
Meet up. We meet with you all the time, so let's talk about that then. But hey, I think it could be a great idea. I know what it's about, and we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll have some crazy live stream happening, but we'll see.
I'll do 24 hours, bro. I'll do it. I'm down.
Yeah, just get some drinks. Talk all kinds of bullshit. Get drunk, whatever. It's a social experiment.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Genuine social experiment can win, and you can see that every day around the world. Like I think I saw like a news, like a Japanese congresswoman, like she's just like very young, like 25, 27, who just gets a speaker on the subway station and talk about like shit every day, and somehow she got popular. Something you just have to stick with it, and if you live stream that for a month, I bet that token can be successful.
Yeah,
I'm down.
We'll see. Well, Jeff, it's been amazing as always. We appreciate you spending time with us and our audience and the Bitcoin ecosystem and the crypto ecosystem, because we cover more than just the Bitcoin ecosystem. But we appreciate you, sir, and we will talk to you soon.
Cool. See you next time.
All right, take it easy.
Buddy.
Dude, we forgot to do roll call. See, that's what happens.
Well,
when
no. So what I do, and I should have said to you something earlier. You got to stop at 40. In order to be able to do roll call thing and roll call. So I was actually, when you said that, I'm gonna knock it out right now. So I'll knock it out. Every single day I do not have my list. So would you mind just writing this down, and when I get back home, I'll wait, hold on.
I'm gonna message you, right?
I have it here. I forgot I have all my stuff here.
Yeah, so what Shizzy's talking about is we do a roll call every day for the comments in the chat. And if you make the first comment in our chat and we post the live link the day before, you get added to the tally of how many times you've been first. At the end of the year, we're giving away a Bitcoin frog. So, that frog could be $1,100, which I think is the price now, or it could be $17,000, which was the price in December, or it could be more or less. I don't know, but it's a good, cool thing that we do, and I think whoever wins that's going to be happy.
Yeah, let's get it. Well, let's see who won today, and it does look Hydro Sapien. Let's go! I'm so happy for you, man. That's so cool. Congratulations to you, Hydro Sapien. Let me actually write you down so I don't forget. How can I forget though? Hydro Sapien. All right, and got you locked in for April 4th. August 4th. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it. That's you, man. You never gave up, dude. Awesome. Then we got Roots is here. Shout out to Roots. Followed by Webdro. Shout out to Webdro, man. It's awesome. I'm so happy. I didn't even see that until now. So cool. Mats is here. Lucky Lukey is here. Don't Lucky Lukey and Webdro, dude. Much respect to you guys, man. But you know what I mean? Like I've never enough respect to you guys. But I don't want you guys thinking, oh wow, he's happy. It's just when someone new jumps in, it's just cool. But you guys, man, you guys deserve everything that you're gonna get 100%. 1+ ad is here. Merlin's Lucky is here. 1 = X is here. Shout out to 1 = X. Cash Cats is here with the coffee and the donuts and the dog go to the moon. Shout out to Cash Cats, man. He says, my job has laboring day. Just came in to smash that like. My guy, appreciate you. I really appreciate that, man. If you guys have the time to just come in here and throw a comment, and even if you can't watch, I really appreciate it. Lucky Lukey says GM. KDN's here. Shout out to KDN, man. Really appreciate you, buddy. Patty Poo, my guy. Love this, man. Tim Baker, AOD Art himself. Shout out to you. You are absolutely legendary. Appreciate you hopping in here every single day. Patty Poo says, don't forget Bear Moon still in effect. Bull Moon starts this Friday. So I'm not somebody who believes in that moon stuff, but a lot of people
sometimes it's right? I know,
it's
dude.
It's right a lot, dude.
I don't want to like believe in that stuff, but god dang, sometimes they get it right.
100%. Claudio says, yo, what's up, Claudio? He says 700K in 2 seconds. No, 700K by May. I know Jeff denied me, But I'm gonna in May when it's 700K, I'm gonna make sure Merlin Monday I bring this clip up. No, I'm just kidding. I have the receipts, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Mark says, "Let's go on the rate cuts. BTC will be bigger than Apple, 100%, dude, 100%." Myself says, "I think crypto as a whole hits 10 trillion market cap. I think it hits 20 trillion this cycle. Honestly, what is it like 3.5, 4 trillion right now? I think that easily 5x's. I mean, easily. So,
But does it hold?
no, not for
So it goes down.
long,
It goes down to like 5 or 6.
I think it goes back to 10. I think 10 is very fair with Bitcoin being like 5 trillion of that, 50%. But we'll see. Patty Poo says there will always be an old whale that has a number that will let. That is true too. That is true. I mean, it's always going to be someone crazy rich. But if you believe in Bitcoin, a lot of these older whales do. I mean, they don't want to go to fiat. They're already in their number of choice, right? So that's one thing people don't understand when I say high numbers like that. No, why would you want to be in the dollar when you can be in Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
I just unless there's something you want to buy, like if you want to buy a yacht, 100% sell down, buy that yacht, or see if that yacht company will take Bitcoin. Eventually, they will. RunesDex is here. Shout to my guy RunesDex, man. Always commenting on my stuff, dude. I appreciate you so much. I bull post runes all day, and he's like the first comment every single time, man. I love it. Absolutely love it. Matrix Frog is here. Matrix Frog. Petty says that's a good play. I read that earlier. 100% with the options. I gotta look into the options too. I gotta learn about them. And Stan is here. Shout out to Stan and Matrix Frog. Appreciate every single one of you guys who makes roll call each and every day. Do you have anything else? Do you have any other topics?
No, no. I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Perfect.
I mean, there's a couple, but they're not really. We can save those for later. But yeah, man, amazing show. Amazing show out for sure. And I couldn't even tell you were on vacation, dude.
My mic or anything messed up? Does it sound perfect?
I mean, the sound's a little different, but
Gotcha.
It's not like it's not horrible or anything. Just a little bit more like you can tell it's not directly into a mic and stuff like that. But
gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, man, appreciate all 596 of you guys. And that's not including Abstract, that's not including Twitch and Spotify, all those places. Yeah, Rumble. And so we appreciate all of you guys for supporting us. Without you guys watching us, we could not do this. I want to emphasize that. And we thank you guys so much for your support. But also without our partners, we couldn't do this as well. So if you could check them out, we would greatly appreciate it. I know Shizzy doesn't have the things today because he doesn't have the monitors, but I'll just kind of go over our partners real quick, and you guys check them out. It'll help us out a ton. Sats Terminal is the DEX aggregator swap for the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you go to satsterminal.com, you can swap for Bitcoin runes and alkanes. It's the best place to do it because they are an aggregator. They're going to find the most liquid tokens, the best price, and you get to earn Amber points. What are Amber points? Amber points are an XP system that they have that is a give back to early adopters. It's not going to be around forever. You can earn 1,000 Amber points when you connect your wallet for the first time. So check out satsterminal.com. And then Emblem Vault is the interoperability layer of the Bitcoin ecosystem and the crypto ecosystem. They have products everywhere, man. But starting off with the Bitcoin side, you're going to be able to jump your ordinals or your counterparty NFTs from Bitcoin to Ethereum. You can do that right now with your Taproot Wizard, and you can take a loan out on the Gandhi application on Ethereum against your Taproot Wizards. They're accepting that collection right now, and they'll probably open up to more. But you're going to be able to jump them to other ecosystems as well, like Base, Abstract, possibly Merlin chain we just talked about, and of course Solana. And speaking of Solana, they have a product that is all of the town's news right now, the agent Hustle, which is their AI agent, and anybody can use Hustle right now. It's free for right now. They do have a token, Hustle token, that's associated with it, but you can use Hustle to guide you through the trenches of Solana, because I'll tell you something, man, it is not easy over there. But what Hustle will do is give you information, right? Kind of like the wizard that we talked about with Merlin, but Hustle will give you information. You can say, hey, Hustle, give me a couple safe plays that are 2 to 5x in the Solana ecosystem, and it'll bring back a couple options for you and give reasons why it thinks that these are safe plays for you guys. Also, there's a conditional trading aspect to Hustle. Say if you want to set orders, limit orders, you can do so through Hustle. If you got into a new coin, but you're afraid that it might dump all the way to zero, you can say, hey, make sure you get out of this, take profit at this price. I'm gonna go to the gym. Hustle take care of that for you. All those type of things. And they, possibly will add perps into that as well. And they're gonna be adding other tech stacks, other ecosystems to Hustle, like Bitcoin's tech stack. You're going to be able to vault your ordinals with Hustle. They're going to add an EVM side and some whatever's the end user wants, and give your feedback to the team. But also, lastly, they have a TGE for their parent brand, the Emblem Vault Rune, that's coming out. And on block 915,000, you can actually participate in a pre-sale environment on OpenSea. If you go search Emblem Founder Vaults, you can buy the NFT, and at the 915,000 block on Bitcoin, it will open up the vault, and you have a Bitcoin wallet with your runes in there. So it's kind of like Emblem Vault, and then they have Hustle, and I forgot they also have migrate.fund, which is everybody's talking about because people are migrating from Pump Fund to Bonk, and that's the tool that they're using, guys. So man, this team, in my opinion, I said that they could be one of the best, fastest growing teams in all of crypto, and I stand by that statement, and I think that they will be. So check out emblemvault.vision, or emblem.vision, I should say. And then Fluid Tokens is the UTXO wizard devs of the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to stake on Bitcoin layer 1, you can do so with Fluid. You can stake Dog to earn Diesel alkanes, or stake alkanes to earn Dog. You can also stake alkanes to earn other alkanes as well. They are the first to offer retail staking vaults on Bitcoin layer 1. So make sure you go check them out. Also on their Cardano side, you can participate on their Aquarium platform. The Aquarium platform allows people to use tokens other than ADA for gas on Cardano. The FLDT token has been approved, and a couple others, I believe. But if you add the liquidity, you earn part of the trading fee. So it's a really cool setup for people that are into that. Also, there is a reoccurring scheduled payment option on Cardano. If you pay your devs in ADA or Fluid or whatever, you can set up the reoccurring payment on the Cardano side as well. So head over to fluidtokens.com to learn more today. And then Artura.finance, we talked about them earlier. I'll hit on them real quick. They are the perps leverage platform for the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to trade fungible Bitcoin synthetic tokens like Dog, Go to the Moon, $1 Billion Cat, Ordi, Sats, etc. And then also you're going to be able to trade derivatives, synthetic derivatives as well, MicroStrategy, Coin, and of course your regular tokens like Bitcoin, Ethereum, which you can trade right now as they're live on the Botanix Bitcoin layer 2 chain, but also Tau, Solana, tokens like that as well that are outside the ecosystem. So head over to Artura.finance today. And then Tokyo Wallet is the multi-chain smart wallet that's building for the best UI and UX experience for their end user. They support the Bitcoin and Cardano ecosystems currently, but they're going to be adding Sui very soon and more ecosystems in the near future. So if you want to trade for runes, you can do directly in the Tokyo app. They partnered with Sats Terminal to make that possible. And then on Cardano, you can trade for Cardano tokens like Snake as well, as they partner with Dex Hunter. So if you have an iPhone, head over to the Apple App Store. If you have a Android, head over to Google Play. You can download the application there. You can also find us in their alpha section. It truly is a one-stop shop. Head over to Tokyo.io to learn more. And then Merlin Chain, we just had Jeff on. They are uniting Bitcoin strength through the power of AI with their Wizard 0.3 version, which is about to be 0.4, and the 0.4 version is going to be able to allow you to research on other chains and actually cross trade. So you're going to be able to be on Merlin Chain and use your Bitcoin and trade for Solana tokens or BNB tokens, whatever is hot. It's going to be really awesome. Right now on the version 3, you can actually do DeFi functions on Merlin Chain as well, or ask questions about the ecosystem. But speaking of staking, you can participate in the proof of stake, which has 3 options. The Bitcoin, staking your Bitcoin to earn more Bitcoin is an awesome thing, and they have it there. And you can earn on average 16% APR. That is going to be locked up until September 30th is the first campaign there. Also, you can stake your Merlin Chain tokens. There's 2 options there. There's the flexible day-to-day, which you earn 15% APR. You get the rewards daily that you can claim. You can do a compound interest strategy there. But when you do withdraw, just know on the day-to-day, it does take 7 days for a cooldown period, so don't freak out. That's just normal part of their process there. And then they have a 6-month option called the bonded option, and you earn 45% APR, and you can still claim your rewards, do compound interest that way. Head over to merlinchain.io today to learn more. And then lastly is our partner, Ordinal Hive. They're the aggregator ordinal marketplace. So if you're looking to find the cheapest ordinals around, you got to go to ordinalhive.io. They also have amazing trader tools like Memcool Live Insights. So if someone accidentally fat fingers a node mug for $200, you can try to grab it really quick. They're going to show you, and then you get your liquidity instantly when you sell on Ordinal Hive versus like Magic Eden, you have to wait 10 minutes, maybe 50 minutes, depending on the block. Ordinal Hive provides that liquidity right away. So make sure you head over to ordinalhive.io to learn more. And we thank you guys so much for checking out our partners. Also, check out our website if you don't mind, onchainrevolution.io. You can find the latest blogs. We do a blog every week. We'll probably start picking that up a little bit more, maybe a couple times a week, but you're going to be able to learn about the Bitcoin ecosystem and the broader crypto ecosystem. But we go all the way back to 2020, late 2023, I believe, or early 2024. So tons of information about the Bitcoin ecosystem, ordinals, and the broader crypto space. So check that out. And you can also find our store, which has, Bitcoin ecosystem hats and crypto hats and shirts and t-shirts. It all supports the store, guys. We do this full time, and we thank you so much for your support. And I think that's going to wrap it up, right?
Yeah, man, 604 people in here. Just want to say I appreciate every single one of you guys, man. And shout out to Hydra Sabian. Congratulations again. But that's the show, man. And remember, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. And on that note,
until tomorrow, peace.
OnChain, OnChain revolution, roll call, market recap. You not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go, Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How do the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction.